Welcome back to the show. We're live on SABC3. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah,
and of course,
baby.
a big weekend waiting upon us. The Australian Open reaching its conclusions. Who will claim the titles? Well, we'll be speaking to former South African tennis player Jeff Coetzee to give us his take on that. And of course, it's a big weekend. You should be wearing your green and gold anyway. Springbok 7.
100%, yeah.
Coetzee is getting into the action. But let's quickly give you our picks of the weekend in terms of the big sporting action.
Yeah, we're going to have an exercise in speed reading right now because we've got so much to cover. Of course, the fire is burning with the Blitzbokke, losing out 1917 to England in the Cape Town leg. I had to eat humble pie wherever I went in the UK. But a massive test for the Blitzbokke now. I think they want to set the tone for this weekend. Siobelo Senatla, he is about 7 tries away from being South Africa's highest point scorer of all time. So he's going to go all out. That man there, Vanderkork, getting his 100th cap as well. Wow. A one-time player of the year. It couldn't be happening to a more humble and a better guy. So we wish them all the best. They're up against Fiji, Australia and Japan in the group legs. I think Japan, our old foes, are first up. But I think we've got high hopes. And of course, we won this back in 2002. So we know the Wellington set. Yes. It's going to be wet. It's going to be grassy. It's going to be a very, very tensely fought first tournament of the year.
Good luck, boys.
You talk about tense. Of course, the T20 series kind of added a bit of balance on the cricketing side to Sri Lanka up against the Proteas. The Sri Lankans took the T20 2-1, but South Africa coming off a 5-0 whitewash ODI series win against Australia last year. We've got AB de Villiers, our talismanic captain, returning to the fold. Chris Morris also coming back in after a very lengthy layoff due to injury. And then Lungi Ngidi, he performed so well in the T20s.
Absolutely.
He gets his call-up, so congratulations, young man. He's a giant of a young man at that.
He is.
But an incredible prospect for the future, and this is the ideal opportunity to blood him in with some of the big guns. But I think all eyes are going to be on AB. Does he have the form to continue capturing that side? Of course, he's taken himself out of the test arena. Then the big one, AFCON. After a very slow start, we finally saw about 51 goals through those group stages. The big guns putting their hands up. So we're back into the quarterfinals. Our dark horse, Burkina Faso, up against Tunisia. They played each other 5 times. Tunisia, of course, they've taken that title back in 2004. Senegal, who started out as my favourites, believe it or not, they've never won the tournament, despite having made, I think, 14 appearances in the tournament. So you talk about that fire. They are desperately wanting to win it this time around.
Mane.
Oh, dude. And he's performing for club, for country. He is the man to watch. And he showed his goal-scoring credentials in the group stages. Then we've got DRC up against Ghana, probably 2 of the biggest sides in African football. Traditionally, they've both taken the titles. I think DRC probably out-and-out favourites. They've scored the most goals. They've taken 2 wins from their group stage games. And then you talk about a tradition. Egypt, they were one of the first 3 teams to play in the AFCON tournament itself. They're up against their old foes, Morocco, and that game going out on Sunday the 29th. Yeah. So there is battle lines everywhere this weekend.
And of course, huge pride at stake for Egypt as they venture for their 8th African Cup of Nations trophy. All right, well, there's lots to look forward to, but of course, we'll bring you all of the results on Monday morning when they have come around. But right now, it's time for us to reflect quickly on the news headlines of the morning.